Hi everyone, my name is Judy Umansky and I am so happy to be with you today. I have been working at the Sid Jacobson JCC in Roslyn for 13, possibly 14 years, teaching Mahjong to a lot of very, very wonderful people. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the game and how Mahjong got from China to the United States. In 1920, a man named Joseph Babcock was working for Standard Oil. He lived in China for many years and learned to play the game as well as enjoy the food, learned the mores of the country, and when he went home to his wife, he brought her a Mahjong set. He taught her to play the game, she taught her friends to play the game, and when he went back to China, he started to import the games. The problem was they could not read all of the Chinese writing, and he is the man that is credited for adding the numbers and letters to the Mahjong tiles. I would like to show you an example of a very old Mahjong set. This is ivory, the back is bamboo, and it's handmade and dovetailed in, and we'll get back to this in a little while. The game took off in the 1920s and early 30s like wildfire. All the ladies were playing the game. I have here one of my favorite books. It's called Mah Jongg, From Shanghai to Miami Beach. And in this photograph, here is Mrs. Babcock with her friends playing Mahjong. You can see how they're dressed with their Persian lamb coats, their cloche hats, their flapper dresses, and of course, the pearls. You can get this book either at Barnes & Noble's or of course on Amazon, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I do. At the end of the 1930s, Mahjong fell out of favor because everyone was playing different table rules. And as a result of that, 7 German Jewish immigrant women met in Manhattan in 1937 and created what we now know is the National Mahjong League. Last year was their 82nd year, and in 2020, it will then become the 83rd year of the National Mahjong League. This group of women standardized the rules so that no matter where you go, everybody will be playing the same thing. I also have a lovely book here that I want you to see. It's called Mahjong the Art of the Game. And in this book, it shows you many of the old tiles made out of bamboo, hand carved and hand painted. It's also very worthwhile. At your first Mahjong class, everyone will be given a folder. In the folder, there's a paper that says Years of Friendship and Charity. I'm sure many of you do not know that the Mahjong League has a foundation. When the founders decided to create the Mahjong League, they decided to help people as well. Over the years, I've been blessed to have gotten many, many Mahjong cards from people from their moms or grandma's sets. Here is a card from 1943. I know it's rather large, it's been blown up, but on the bottom here it says proceeds donated to patriotic and charitable causes. We all know what was going on in 1943. In 1946, on the bottom of this card, which by the way was only 10 cents, it also says the same thing, proceeds donated to patriotic and charitable causes. And I have here one from 1949, and now it has gone up to 15 cents, but proceeds were still donated to patriotic and charitable causes. Today, when you join the Mahjong League, you will get a book every January. In the front of the book, there are letters that have been written by members. There are questions and answers by the Mahjong League. But most importantly, in the back, you can see a list of hundreds and hundreds of names of people who collect money through their charity, JCC, Hadassah, American Cancer Society, B'nai B'rith. And because the Mahjong League has a foundation, all of those charities will get a percentage of the person who sells those cards. Also in your folder will be a paper like this and a list of vocabulary words that during our lessons I will be saying to you. But for our purposes today, we're going to concentrate on this piece of paper. This will help you recognize the tiles, and I'm going to give you a little taste of our first Mahjong class. On the first line on this paper, you see tiles. In the upper left-hand corner, you see a letter. Mr. Babcock is the gentleman who actually introduced letters and numerals to the tiles. The first tile we see is a north, N. An E means east, a W means west, and an S means south. Those are the directions of the winds. I have here samples of different tiles with the engraving and the letters. As you can see, they're all different sets, but they all mean the same thing. The second row of pictures are what are called flowers and jokers. And the interesting thing about the flowers is that very rarely do they actually look like flowers. So here's an example of these flowers and these flowers and these flowers. They all look like everything but flowers, except for the very old set, the ivory and bamboo set, where they look like urns with flowers in them. Now we all know the purpose of a joker. The joker takes the place of any symbol or regular tile. So here are examples of our jokers. They say joker and big joker. And here's a set where a gal really had a sense of humor, because these tiles say whoopee, yahoo, and hooray. That's how you feel inside when you get a joker, when you play this game. The next row are called dragons. There are 3 dragons in Mahjong: white, red, and green. This is an example of the white dragon. This is a green dragon, and this is the red dragon. But in some sets, they don't always look like dragons. In some sets, they look like rectangles, a green cluster, or what I think looks like a red dagger. All of these tiles mean the same thing. They just have different designs. And in this last set, the beautiful ivory and bamboo set, the white dragon is plain. And that's how the white dragon got a second name, and it's called soap. So that tile, that dragon, which looks nothing like a dragon, can also be called soap because it looks like a bar of soap. We are now going to look at the tiles that we will be playing with when you come to the class at the JCC. All of the tiles that are on the table over here came out of this case. It is a very transportable game and very easy to take to your friend's house. So the last line we talk about are the 3 suits in Mahjong. The first suit are called BAMs. And the reason they're called BAMs is because the tile looks like bamboo. The numbers go from 1 to 9, and there's 4 of each tile. You will notice that the one BAM looks like a bird. In every Mahjong set, the one BAM looks like a bird. And the reason is Mahjong translates to Game of the Sparrows in English. Here are examples of one BAMs from all of the sets that we have talked about before. Some of these birds are very attractive, and our bird is not so attractive. He looks like a whooping crane, but it means the same thing. All tiles in Mahjong that have a bird on it are the one BAM. All the tiles in Mahjong that are in the BAM suit have sticks of bamboo that corresponds to the number in the upper left-hand corner that Mr. Babcock added to the set back in the 1920s. The next suit we talk about are the cracks. The crack tiles are the tiles that look like writing on a Chinese food takeout menu, or sometimes a restaurant menu as well. The number again is in the upper left-hand corner. The thing about the crack suit is that they all have the same red design on the bottom, and the lines above it in black indicate what the number says in English in the upper left-hand corner. And the last suit is called dots. I know you can figure out what that is. They all look like dots. The number in the corner corresponds to how many dots are on the tile. And the same thing applies to the BAM suit as well. Once we learn to recognize the Mahjong tiles, I will teach you how to read the Mahjong card, and you will give yourself the best gift of all, learning to play this game, meeting new people, and supporting all of the programs at the JCC. This is all about fun, friendship, and charity. I hope you've enjoyed this little taste, and I will see you soon, and take care until we meet again.